This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good afternoon, Reds fans, and welcome to another installment of the Reds POSTCAST, brought to you by the folks over at Locked On and the Locked On Reds podcast. So, working happy Easter. A wonderful Easter Sunday if you are a Cincinnati Reds fan. My name is Tim Daniel. I am a diehard Cincinnati Reds fan. I've been covering the Reds in podcast form for 5 years at publications such as Late Night Reds and The Riverfront. If you're subscribed to us here for free, whether it's on your podcast app of choice or YouTube, no paywalls included. You not only get my show after every single Reds game, Monday through Friday, you get Jeff Carr and Stephen Alvenbaker on Locked On Reds. Guys, an unreal day today. I couldn't believe it. I mean, just insanity from Cincinnati Reds today. A 24-2 victory at Camden Yards against the Baltimore Orioles on a bullpen day. I mean, I guess it was basically a bullpen day for both teams. Crazy enough. So, yes, Johnny G, you're right. It's a great day to be a Reds fan. Patrick says it here. On a bullpen day, the bats showed up. Johnny brings it up here again. Wynns and Marte productive from the 8-9 spots. There is a pretty incredible day that we can talk about today. So I called that segment to start the show Passing the Bat, because it was just one of those days where my turn, everyone getting hits. It was pretty wild. And we're going to talk about some Elly highlights today, including that really nice home run that he had to spark the third inning, and then also that insane catch he made at shortstop. And we have to be, in a day like this where the offense is unstoppable, let's also talk about the bullpen giving them a heck of a performance today when they had to go out there and had to go out there and throw a bullpen day because of using Carson Spires yesterday and Hunter Green's short day. So a lot of fun to get to today. And obviously, guys, here is what we are talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Offense on offense on offense today for the Cincinnati Reds at Camden Yards. 24 runs on 25 hits. Okay. You know the insanity of saying that? 24 runs on 25 hits. And it was just past the bat today. It was incredible. So we're now looking at a situation where everyone who got an at-bat today for the Reds, except for Santiago Espinal, got a hit. So that's the first insanity. Friedel had a triple, McLean had 2 hits, Elly had a homer. We can go down the line. That's pretty crazy. So that's pretty nuts. Like I said, they score in the second. They come back and have a day where Baltimore comes back and has a tie on the error for Spencer Steer, first base in his first game back playing the field. Then they go out and put a 7th spot up there, started with the Elly homer. And then see other guys like Jake Fraley get a nice hit there as well. Bringing a run in, you get a TJ Friedel triple. It was an unreal game. I mean, it's so hard to kind of put in the words. So want to make sure we go ahead and get through all of that as well. But let's also just talk about some individual guys, because everyone contributed today. Literally everyone contributed. So to go there and talk about every guy's performance today, we'd be here till 7:00 tonight, which, as much as I'd be willing to do, I don't think my bosses over at Locked On want me taking that much time away from Steve and Jeff to get their downloads in either. So we'll start with Noelvi Marte. 7 RBI today, a grand slam homer, 5 for 7, 3 runs scored. Had 1 hit going into in the season going into today, and now has no PS of 929. Just beautiful April baseball, right? You had, and then of course you have Austin Hayes, 4 for 6 today, 4 runs scored, has an RBI, has a walk. Was just his first week as a Red, insanity. A 1.253 OPS, a 429 batting average, 3 home runs, 8 runs batted in. So just nuts. And we're talking about our 3rd catcher today. Like he is, prime Gary Sanchez, who pitched today for the Orioles. Austin wins today. 6 of 7, a home run, 6 runs batted in, 2 walks. Holy shnikes. All right, look, let's go ahead and get ahead of this because I knew it was coming. It's Major League Baseball. You got to score when you score. You got to stay competitive. If they still score tomorrow, it's not because of today. I just want to make sure we keep that in mind. I think we're going to be just fine because Miami is not much better than Colorado, but we will get to that tomorrow. I want to enjoy today as much as I possibly can. Gavin Lux today, 3 walks. I mean, he's just been stellar for this team. 818 OPS. Spencer Steer had a little bit of life today. 2 for 6, 3 runs scored. His first day in the playing defense, which I know he did have that error that was kind of stinky. But you know what? They got through it. It didn't really cost them today. So just insanity from everyone here. I'm having so much fun. I couldn't wait to get the show started today. After yesterday, where it was a really rough day, I couldn't wait to get going today because this game was just one that obviously you don't see too often. As a matter of fact, I think the way that John Sadek posted it in the top of the ninth, you haven't seen the Reds have a game like this since 1909, I think was the year, if I remember correctly. I don't have it in front of me, but just fantastic day. Let's kind of go through some comments here real quick before we go to the first break. We got Josh at Reds Reality. Tim, I'm just speechless. I have nothing to say. This is the most flabbergasted I've ever been. I've never had so much fun watching a game in my life. Just craziness. Happy Easter, buddy. Happy Easter to you too. Optimistic John says, unbelievable and proud of the whole team. Likewise, man. Just nuts. Johnny G, who knew Wynns was a double machine? Yeah, right. Man, especially, going against his former team, the Baltimore Orioles. It was football today, right? To see him put a day up like that was pretty awesome. Pierre says Bengals versus Ravens score today. Felt like it. And then Brandon Kamek, my buddy, Tim made to rethink his stance on the save stat. Proves its worth with today's game. That's pretty funny. I actually really like that. So, hey, just an unbelievable day. Like I said, it was a whole lot of passing the bats. And someone who had some really great moments today, who we've really found a way to be really frustrated with quite a bit this season, is Elly De La Cruz. So even though he was not the best player on the field today, he had one of those Elly days that you just really, why you fully believe in how great he is. And I want to be sure that we talk about that right after this. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control of your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you just stop managing your money and start building wealth. When I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending at Fanatics. I love sports apparel. I love sports t-shirts. I love jerseys. I love ball caps. And now I budget smarter and I save more. My wife really appreciates that the closet has a little more room with a lot less hats and t-shirts and jerseys. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first order. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first order. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me on this beautiful Easter Sunday, celebrating a Cincinnati Reds win, a 24-2 Cincinnati Reds win at that. Thank you, Reds Big Head. Yeah, this is actually my cousin lives in Chattanooga, and he gifted me this hat. So, Bob, I really appreciate the kind words. Patrick Cheesy, who gave the safety. We're going to go ahead and put that on Hakeem Adeniji. And we just go and put it on Hakeem Adeniji. I know that's James Rapin's show, but I wanted to make sure we have the new Cleveland Brown mentioned here for a second as well. But let's go ahead real quick before we get to Elly's fun day. I mean, just a really exciting Elly De La Cruz day. Let's talk about where the turning point in this game was.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Today's turning point was the third inning, when it was a 1-1 game, and you're talking about where all know you just lost a game yesterday where you couldn't get the big hit going. Yesterday, you were 4 of 17 with runners in scoring position. And today, the third inning comes out. And I know, look, I wanted to look at and I saw Charlie Morton was pitching, and I saw he was having a really bad year, and I saw he was 41. And so my ignorance was like, oh man, this is just, here we go again. And then I went and looked, and it's supposed to just be an outlier because he was really good last year for being 40. And he's had a really good career. He's been pitching for, I don't know, since I was an adult in the majors, literally. But to see the Reds kind of get a day like this, obviously was much needed. So the third starts with the Elly homer. Jake Fraley comes up on a single line drive to right field, scores Austin Hayes, scores Gavin Lux. You have a throwing error to bring Spencer in. Austin Wynns singles on a line drive. Then TJ Friedl has the triple that brings in Austin Wynns, and Matt McClain has a single that brings in TJ Friedl, which makes it an 8-1 game. So that was the turning point of today's game. Let's talk about Elly De La Cruz here, because in a week where Elly has really kind of been the center of the bad and the good, I wanted to make sure that we kind of gave him his flowers today because I know he had 2 strikeouts, but the OPS is on the right side of 750. Finally, hopefully we can keep that there consistently. So he's at 761. Hit the solo shot today that really kind of got things going for the team, like I said. And I feel like that catch just did something today. It felt like it was just something that team just really needed a moment like that to just kind of get a spark going. When you see someone who like lays out like that and makes an unreal catch, that was just fantastic. And if you saw the picture was so funny that they showed in the broadcast where they show Brent Suter reacting to Elly's catch, where they're the only 2 people in the air. Elly's got his like Michael Jordan pose, and Brent Suter has his Brandy Chastain pose. If you know, you know. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Just seeing Brent Suter's reaction like that was so great, and seeing Elly have that as well. But we talked about the homer. We talked about the catch. He has a walk today that was a really good at bat, and got another steal. So he's now up to 7 steals in the season. Not exactly where we thought he would be probably in the 3rd week of April, but still a really nice pace. Red's big head. That's a great point. Definitely a desktop wallpaper. I like that. The big take is that all the base runners we're having since Hayes pushed the lineup into a natural order. That's really nice, man. Yeah, that's a really good point. Austin Hayes has just been such a godsend for this team. But what we're getting now from this team with plays like that, I think that like last week, it was obviously disappointing to see Elly kind of miss some balls he should have got. Even the first play of the game today almost gets Cedric Mullins out on that ground ball to first. Baltimore had to review it to make sure he got it. So to see that from him today was pretty awesome. Just really cool to see. Just, the things that make you, when you have to go defend Elly De La Cruz to people who aren't fans of the Cincinnati Reds, you pull up days like today and you're like, yeah, but this is what he can do to make your day so much better and make being a Reds fan so much fun. So I want to make sure we gave him his flowers, because my job is that when it's bad, I tell you it's bad. When it's good, I tell you it's good. And one thing that was really good was today's player of the game. It's not Elly De La Cruz, but you probably know.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Okay, if I had told you in spring training there would be a day that Austin Wynns would be the player of the game here on the Locked On Reds postcast, would you believe me? Probably not. No, probably not. But it's hard to take away from 6 for 7. And Carlton, I believe Carson Spire's injury is what the kids would call had too many pitches yesterday in a game that they really didn't throw too many pitches. Shout out to Randy Wynn, like Bob says here, had a really nice day as well today. But that is the point of this segment to end the show. You had a bullpen day today because Carson Spires pitched yesterday because Hunter Green didn't make it through yesterday, and they showed up. So Brent Suter as your opener with 3 innings, doesn't give up a run, does give up a run that's not earned, has a strikeout. Ian Jabot comes out, throws an inning, 2 strikeouts. Taylor Rogers ends up being the winning pitcher, gets a strikeout in an inning. Scott Barlow throws a hitless inning. And Randy Wynn, who did give up a run, did give up 3 hits, but had 3 Ks for his first big league game in years, but gets his first save for throwing 3 innings, which was really funny, like Brandon Kamick said earlier. But to see those guys understand that, hey, we're down a starter. We've had a hell of a week. Like, we had 3 games where our starters couldn't get out of the 5th inning. We have 4 games if you count Hunter yesterday against Baltimore. So we really need to kind of find something to put together. And having Wynns and Suter eat innings like that, where Jabot threw 20 pitches, Rogers threw 15, Barlow threw 11. So you could really feel like those guys aren't in terrible shape. Carlton, they didn't use the big guns today. They didn't have to go get Pagan. They didn't have to go get Alexis. They just kind of did the thing. And yeah, like Johnny says here, if you've been listening to Jeff and Steve break down the bullpen, the A team, the B team, this has been really, really, really cool to see those guys do that today. So want to make sure they got their credit. Also, just want to make sure one more thing. I don't know what Blake Dunn's doing to get hit all the time. And it's helping the team because he's getting on base, don't get me wrong. But my guy, you're probably going to need like the T2 sleeve of your arm or like the Winter Soldier arm, because, buddy, you are getting rocked on your elbow a lot this year. So Blake, I can't imagine the bruises that you have when you are wearing short sleeves again when the season's a little warm. But holy moly, dude. I hope you are okay, and I hope you have plenty of ice, and the trainers are giving you plenty to relax on. So with that being said, it's Easter Sunday. I want you guys to go enjoy time with your family. I'm going to go enjoy time with my wife and daughter as well. So thank you guys so much. A Cincinnati Reds victory today, 24-2 in Baltimore to win their third of their last 4 series. The Cincinnati Reds today, 24 runs on 25 hits, 1 error. The Baltimore Orioles, 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Your winning pitcher today is Taylor Rogers. He is 1-0 with a 2.25. Your losing pitcher is Charlie Morton, 0-5 with a 10.89. And your save today was Randy Wynn. The Reds are back at it tomorrow in Miami, where we're going to party in the city where the heat is on all night on the beach to the break of dawn. Nick Lodolo takes the hill for the Reds. He is 2-1 with a 2.31. His first game since having a baby. Mr. Juan was on here yesterday talking about, hey, that first time dad strength comes through. He's going to be going against Max Meyer of the Marlins, who is 1-2 with a 2.63 ERA. That game will be at 6:40, so I should be on probably about 9:10 to 9:30, somewhere in that area. So thank you guys so much. Have a great Easter. Go Red Legs. For myself tonight, go Cavaliers. And for those of us who care, let's go Cena. Have a good night, everyone.